Amos chapter 5. Hear this word that I take up as a lament over you, O house of Israel. She has fallen, never rising again. Virgin Israel. She is forsaken on her land, with nobody to lift her up. For thus says Adonai Elohim, the city that sends out 1,000 will have 100 left, and one that sends out 100 will have 10 left, for the house of Israel. For thus says Adonai to the house of Israel, seek me and live, but do not seek Bethel. Do not go to Gilgal. Do not cross over to Beersheba. For Gilgal will surely go into exile, and Bethel will come to trouble. Seek Adonai and live, lest he rush like fire through the house of Joseph. Yes, it will devour Bethel, with no one to quench it. You who turn justice to wormwood, threw justice to the ground. He who made the Pleiades and Orion, and changes deep darkness to morning, who darkens the day into night, who summons the water of the sea and pours it out on the face of the earth. Adonai is his name. He flashes destruction on the mighty, so destruction will come against the fortress. They despise one who reproves at the gate, so they detest one who speaks with integrity. Therefore, because you trample on the poor, exacting from him a burden of grain, you built houses of hewn stone, but will not dwell in them. You planted pleasant vineyard, but will not drink their wine. For I know your crimes are many and your sins countless, afflicting the righteous, taking bribes, and turning the needy aside at the gate. Therefore the prudent keep silent at such a time, for it is a distressful time. Seek good and not evil, so you may live, and so Adonai Elohei Tzavaot may be with you, just as you said. Hate evil, love good, maintain justice at the gate. May Adonai Elohei Tzavaot will extend grace to Joseph's remnant. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohei Tzavaot, my Lord. There will be a wailing in all plazas and in all the streets. They will say, Alas, alas, the farmer will be called to mourning, along with those who know the lamentation song. And all vineyards will be wailing, for I will pass through your midst. Adonai has spoken. Oi to you, longing for the day of Adonai. What would it be for you? The day of Adonai will be darkness and not light. It will be as when a man is fleeing from a lion and meets a bear, or he comes home, leans his hand on the wall, and a snake bites him. Will not the day of Adonai be darkness, not light, gloom, not brightness? I despise your festivals. I take no delight in your sacred assemblies. Even if you offer me burnt offerings and your grain offerings, I will not accept them, nor will I take at peace offerings of your fattened animals. Take away from me the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the melody of your harps, but let justice roll like water and righteousness like an ever-flowing torrent. Did you bring sacrifices and offerings to me in the wilderness for 40 years, O house of Israel? But you lifted up your images, Sikuth your king, and Shion your star gods, which you made for yourselves. So I will send you into exile beyond Damascus. Adonai has spoken. Elohei Tzavaot is his name. Chapter 6. O you who are at ease in Zion, trusting in Samaria's hill, distinguished ones of the foremost of nations, to whom the house of Israel comes, go over to Calne and look. From there, go to the great Hamath, go down to Gath the Philistines. Are you better than these kingdoms, or is there a territory larger than yours? Dismissing the day of calamity, you bring near the throne of violence, reclining on beds of ivory, sprawling on their couches, dining on lambs from the flock and calves from amid the stall, chanting to the sound of harp like David, inventing their own instruments of song, drinking wine from bowls, anointing with choice ointments, yet they are not sickened over the breakdown of Joseph. Therefore, now they will go into exile at the head of the exiles. Sprawling revelry will cease. My Lord Adonai has sworn by himself, declares Adonai Elohei Sabaoth. I loathe the arrogance of Jacob. I despise his palaces. So I will shut down the city and everything in it. If 10 people remain in one house, they will die. One's beloved, the one burning incense for him, will lift him up to carry the bones out of the house. And he will say to one in the innermost recess of the house, Is anyone else still with you? And he will say, No one. Then he will say, Hush, for we must not mention the name of Adonai. For behold, Adonai will command. He will smash the big house to fragments and the little house to splinters. Will horses run on the cliff? Will one plow there with oxen? Yet you turned justice into venom, the fruit of righteousness into wormwood. You are rejoicing for no reason, saying, Haven't we taken 2 horns for ourselves by our own strength? For behold, I am raising up against you, O house of Israel, a nation, and they will afflict you from Lebo Hamath to the valley of Arabah, declares Adonai, the God of hosts. Chapter 7. This is what my Lord Adonai has shown me. Behold, he was forming locusts at the beginning of the spring crop after the cutting of the king's hay. When the locust swarm had finished devouring the vegetation of the land, I said, Adonai Elohim, please pardon. How can Jacob stand, for he is small? Adonai relented concerning this. It shall not be, Adonai said. This is what my Lord Adonai has shown me. Behold, Adonai Elohim was calling for the trial by fire, and it would have devoured the great deep, and it would have devoured the territory. But I said, My Lord Adonai, stop, please. How can Jacob stand, for he is small? Adonai relented concerning this. This also shall not happen, says my Lord Adonai. This is what he has revealed to me. Behold, my Lord was standing by a vertical wall, and in his hand was a plumb line. Then Adonai said to me, What do you see, Amos? I said, A plumb line. Then my Lord said, Behold, I am setting a plumb line among my people Israel. I will no longer pass over them. So the high places of Isaac will become desolate. The sanctuaries of Israel will be laid waste, and I will rise up against the house of Jeroboam with a sword. Then Amaziah, the priest of Bethel, sent word to King Jeroboam of Israel, saying, Amos has been conspiring against you in the midst of the house of Israel. The land cannot endure all his words. For this is what Amos has said, Jeroboam will die by the sword, and Israel will surely go captive from his land. Then Amaziah said to Amos, Seer, go away, flee back to the land of Judah. Eat bread there and prophesy there. But at Bethel you are not to prophesy anymore, for it is a royal sanctuary and a house of the kingdom. So Amos responded and said to Amaziah, I am no prophet, nor am I a son of a prophet. Rather, I am a shepherd tending fig trees. But Adonai took me from following the flock, and Adonai said to me, Go, prophesy to my people Israel. So now hear the word of Adonai. You are saying, Do not prophesy against Israel, and do not preach against the house of Isaac. Therefore, this is what Adonai says, Your wife shall become a prostitute in the city. Your sons and daughters will fall by the sword, and your land divided up by a measuring line. Now as for you, you will die in an unclean land, and Israel will surely be led away captive out of its land. Chapter 8. This is what my Lord Adonai has shown me. See, there was a basket of summer fruit. He said, Amos, what do you see? A basket of summer fruit, I said. Then Adonai said to me, The end has come to my people Israel. I will not again pass over them. The songs of the palace will become howls in that day. It is a declaration of my Lord Adonai. So many courses flung everywhere. Hush, hear this, you who trample the poor. destroying the afflicted of the land, saying, when will the new moon be over, so we may sell grain, or Shabbat, so we may open the wheat market? Let's reduce the ephah measure and increase the shekel. Cheat with deceitful balances, buy the poor for silver, the needy for a pair of sandals, will even sell the refuge of the grain. Adonai swore by the pride of Jacob, never will I forget all their deeds. Will not the land tremble over this? Will not all who dwell in it mourn? Yes, it will rise up like all the Nile. It will surge and sink again like the Nile of Egypt. It will be in that day, declares my Lord Adonai. I will make the sun go down at noon. Yes, I will darken the day in daylight. Darken the earth in daylight. I will turn your festivals into mourning, and all your songs into a dirge. I will pull up sackcloth on every waist and baldness on every head. I will make it like the morning for an only son, its end a bitter day. Behold, days are coming, declares my Lord Adonai, when I will send a famine on the land, and not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Adonai. So people will wander from sea to sea and roam from north to east, searching for the word of Adonai, but they will not find it. In that day, the fair virgins and the virile young men will faint from thirst. Those swearing by Samaria's guilt will say, as your gods live, Dan, and as the way of Beersheba lives, but they will fall, never to rise again. Chapter 9. I saw my Lord standing by the altar, and he said, strike the tops of the pillars, so the porches shake. Break all of them off at the head. Then the last of them I will slay with a sword. None of them fleeing will escape, and no fugitive will slip away. If they should dig down to Sheol, from there my hand will take them. If they should go down to heaven, from there will I bring them down. If they should hide themselves at the top of Carmel, I will search them out and take them from there. If they hide themselves from my eyes at the bottom of the sea, from there I will command the sea serpent to bite them. If they should go into captivity before their enemies, from there I will command the sword to slay them. I will set my eyes upon them for calamity and not for prosperity. My Lord is Adonai Tsabaoth. It is he who touches the land, so it melts, and all its inhabitants will mourn. Then it will surge like all the Nile and sink again like the Nile of Egypt. He who builds his upper stories in heaven fitted its vault over the earth. He who summons the waters of the sea and pours them out on the face of the earth. Adonai is his name. Are you not like the children of the Cushite to me, Bnei Israel? It is the declaration of Adonai. Did I not bring Israel up from the land of Egypt, the Philistines from Caphtor, and the Aram from Kir? Behold, the eyes of my Lord Adonai are on the sinful kingdom, so I will utterly destroy it from the face of the earth. Nevertheless, I will not annihilate the house of Jacob. It is the declaration of Adonai. For behold, I am commanded, I will shake the house of Israel among all the nations, will like grain being tossed in a sieve, without a pebble falling to the ground. By the sword shall all the sinners of my people die, those who say the calamity will not overtake or confront us. In that day I will raise up David's fallen sukkah. I will restore its branches, raise up its ruins, and rebuild it as in days of old, so they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the nations called by my name. It is a declaration of Adonai, the one who will do this. Behold, days are coming soon. It is a declaration of Adonai, when the plowman will overtake the reaper, and the one treading grapes, the one sowing seed. The mountains will drip sweet wine, and all the hills will melt over. Yes, I will restore the captivity of my people Israel. They will rebuild desolated cities and dwell in them. They will plant vineyards and drink their wine. They will also make gardens and eat their fruit. Yet, yes, I will plant them on their land, and they will never again be plucked up out of their land that I have given to them. Adonai your God has said it.